Have you ever woken up in the morning and just felt like the day was overwhelming? You know what's coming up in the day and you're just like, I can't do this. There's too much in this day. In this video, we're going to share a beautiful verse, two verses from Lamentations that will help you to know how much God wants to help you through each day and how specific that help is. Hi there, I'm Lisa Berg from the Ways of Wisdom, helping you to hear God, get His daily guidance, and live abundantly. On this channel, we love sharing tips and tools on how to hear Jesus and walk through everyday life with Him. So if you're new here, consider subscribing, liking, and commenting on this channel. There is a beautiful help available in Lamentations 3:20-23. I was talking to a coaching client the other day, and he was just sharing that life just was too hard. There were things that he'd gone through in that particular day. We were speaking in the evening that were just overwhelming, and he didn't know how to deal with them, and he was pretty weighed down at the end of the day. And then when he thought about the next day at work, he was like, if today was hard, how am I going to do tomorrow? And we all face circumstances like that, don't we? Whether it's at work, whether it's circumstances that are happening at home, whether it's money, how much we need to pay out to something, whether it's a relative that's ill, or maybe we're sick, whether it's the news that we watch and all that's going on in the world at the moment. There are places and circumstances where life can just seem overwhelming. And there's a phrase that I was told many years ago that I shared with my client, and it just always just resets my mind, right? And that phrase is, we might be overwhelmed, but God is not overwhelmed, right? Let that sink in for a moment. God is not sitting up in heaven going, oh no, this and this has happened in Fred's life. What am I going to do? I didn't expect that. It came completely out of the blue, right? I know it's a silly analogy, but God doesn't do that, right? Because He's not overwhelmed by the circumstance. God is God. There is nothing bigger than Him. There is nothing that He can't handle. There's nothing that He's surprised about. There's nothing that catches Him off guard. There's nothing that He puts His head in His hands about and goes, woe is me, how am I going to solve this? That's us. And we don't get to put that on God because that is absolutely not Him. There's a beautiful phrase that I repeat to myself sometimes that really helps. And I just said, thank God that I'm not God. Because in my own understanding, I certainly cannot fix the situation in front of me. But absolutely God can. And it just helps me to remember that I don't have to solve the situation. I don't have to have the answers. I don't even have to have the strength to go through the situation by myself, because that's what God promises that He'll do, right? So let me read this beautiful set of verses in Lamentations 3:22-23. And there are lots of songs that we sing in church that reflect this verse, so you'll recognize it. It says, and I'm reading from the NIV, because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. And some of the other versions will say, God's mercies are new every morning. So I went and looked up in the Strong's Concordance. And if you love finding out what the words in the Bible mean, I recommend that you go and look for a Strong's Concordance online. And the word mercies in those verses means God's favor, God's kindness, and God's goodness. So listen to this again. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. His goodness never fails. His kindness never fails. His favor never fails. It's new every morning. Great is His faithfulness. As I looked at my client and said this, you could just feel the weight lifting off of his shoulders. And then the Lord gave us this beautiful insight, and He said, you know what? When you wake up tomorrow morning, if I promise that my mercy, my favor, my goodness, and my kindness would be new for this day, that means that I know exactly what's going to happen in your day. And I have put in your day, in the morning in your day, everything that you will need, all my goodness, all my kindness, all my favor. I've already given it to you at the beginning of the day, and it will walk you through the rest of the day. Drop the mic, right? How astounding is that when we think about the fact that today is whatever, wherever we are, today is Wednesday. And when I wake up Wednesday morning, I get to go, wow, Lord, today you have put all of the favor, goodness, and kindness that you know I'll need into this morning. I get to come to you and say, Lord, what wonderful adventures do we get to go on today? Unpacking your favor in this day. Unpacking what your kindness will look like for me and the world around me today. Unwrapping what your goodness will do, will touch, whose lives will be transformed. Situations where heaven will be brought to earth today through the circumstances that are on my calendar for today. Think about that. Another friend of mine has just had a minor surgical procedure, and it's sore, it hurts, and they have way less energy than they normally have. And they were lamenting to me, going, with Lamentations, they were lamenting to me that they don't have energy at the moment, and they want to get up and cook dinner, and they want to, look after things, and they just want the energy that they had. And I paused them for a moment. I said, hey, hold on a second. You had this procedure 2 days ago. Can you give your body a chance to catch up, please? Can you give your body a chance to heal? Can you let yourself rest? Can you let others serve you for a change? Right? Because the mercies of God in that situation look like most of their energy is going to be spent on healing. And something we said totally flipped the script for her. I said, what if you've got 100% of energy today, and 70% of that is going to be used for healing, which leaves 30% to maybe eat dinner with your family, to cuddle your kids, right? Whereas when your body is healed, that 70% could look like going about and doing your daily tasks again, right? And 30% could be used for healing or rest or sleeping. And something happens when we think about the capacity to do things in a day as something out of 100. And we get to go, Lord, what does your mercy look like this morning? What does your kindness and your goodness and favor look like? Where do I get to spend my energy? Where do I get to spend that mercy today? And when we direct it the way he leads us towards the day, then the day is full of the goodness, kindness, and favor of God. That's just the most amazing thought. So never again do we have to get up in the morning. Never again do you have to get up in the morning or end out your day and go, that was just too much. You can go, God, you and I went through quite a bit today, right? Today was a day where a lot of mercy was used, where all of your favor was used up. And thank you for showing me your goodness and your kindness to me and mine today. Right? It becomes a gratitude for God sharing the day with us instead of an overwhelming, I'm checking out at the end of the day thing. So, so beautiful. And this is what God has for you. It's His promise for you every single morning when you wake up. So I encourage you tomorrow morning when you wake up that you say to the Lord, Lord, what is your mercy available for me today? What favor, what goodness and kindness do you have that you and I get to unpack in this day together? So good. So as always, Jesus is inviting you on an adventure today. Will you accept? Come across and look at the other videos on this YouTube channel. Listen to the podcast episodes. Come and visit us at the website. Let's walk through life together. See what coaching looks like, how we can accelerate you to your next level. We love walking alongside people and helping you to excel in your life, partnering with God to be all that you were created to be. Bless you, bless you, bless you, and I'll see you next time.